Hey, what's up, loyal Cubs fans? Edition. Don't have a recap today because of the crappy weather in DC, but it is Sunday, September 9th. We were supposed to play Washington at 12:30. Fans kind of got stringed around for 3 hours, and then they decided to cancel the game, which the forecast was not great all day. Uh, puts always a tough spot when it's the last game of the series and you have other games to play the next day. The positive is Cubs should be able to get on a plane, get back home, get well rested. They play night games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against second place Milwaukee. Milwaukee's closed the gap with the good winning streak they're on to now 2 games behind us. And I believe Cubs now played 2 less games than them. So Mother Nature making things tough. Uh, it kind of put us in this situation where we had 23 games in a row scheduled, and now we have 3 more left, and then we get a day off on Thursday. But there shouldn't be any excuses going into Milwaukee home game. They even one positive, Mother Nature. It shafted Lester his last start where he pitched an inning, then it got rained out. Game's not official, but Lester will be going in essentially only pitching one inning in like eight days of live action. So he should be well rested. He's up against Miley against Milwaukee, and he did really well against us. His ERA's in the low twos. So that seems to be Milwaukee's best pitcher right now. Lester can't pitch Hamels because he pitched a few days ago, but Lester should be our second best pitcher. He's been pitching a lot better. Obviously, he was an all-star the first half and then had a lot of regression early in the second half, and he's been looking better. So we'll see if we can get a good outing out of him. We do have a well-rested Penn, but always nice to start off and not necessarily need to use your best high-leverage guys. And we'll see. We do got another addition. Alex Mills is back on the team after 10 days of being sent down. That was kind of a controversial decision I didn't agree with. He had one great start, one, I guess, below average start, 4 runs in 5 innings. He had a good relief appearance, 2 shutout innings. And he brought up Montgomery, I think 2 days too soon. If they could have waited till September 1st, because with that rain out, put us in an emergency mode. We had to scramble. We used Garcia, new addition. His ERA was 5.6. He hasn't started since like July. The Madden was only expecting him to maybe get 2 good innings. He can only get 1 out, had the bases loaded, gives up a hit, taken out of the game, already 2 runs, 3, another run. The game got ugly. So I don't know, I thought it was controversial. And then we haven't got 2 great outings out of Montgomery. His last 2 starts, only 4 1/3, and then 4 innings. So with the rain out, I guess that's one good thing. Lester is going to start off the series, and then you go with Hendricks and then Quintana. Hendricks, he got kind of rocked late, but he's been feeling more locked in. I have a lot of confidence in him still, and Quintana's been looking better, so that's what we're going to go with. Seems to be pretty favorable matchups. First game will be the most competitive, it looks like, pitching. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get the bats going. The bats have been doing well. Last game, the bullpen did blow it. Have to tip my hat off to Bryce Harper and Rendon and some of the great hitters they have. Sometimes the hitters are going to win. Those are some great hitters. Washington is no joke. I wish there's some other guys in the team we can get. Can we get Max? Can we get Harper? Can we get Rendon? I like Murphy, Kinsler. He looked better in his relief appearance after 5 out of 6 bad outings, but it is what it is. So we're only 2 games ahead of Milwaukee. It'd be nice to at least win 2 out of 3, get some more separation. A sweep would be awesome. That would make things mathematically pretty tough for the for the Brewers down the stretch to catch up. And Cardinals are hanging in there. They did win today. I think that puts them 5 games behind us. Have to do the math, 5 or 4.5, I don't know. But they lost 2 out of 3 against Detroit. They won today. So you never know what can happen. September baseball. Sometimes you think you know who's going to win, you know who's maybe trying to tank, but then the opposite happens. Uh, Mother Nature kind of put a wrench. Looking at the pitching matchup, Strasburg against Hendricks, felt that was kind of a coin flip because Hendricks was looking pretty good recently. Strasburg, he came back from the DL. Two pretty good outings in a row by good teams, Philadelphia and then Milwaukee, quality starts. I think he gave up like 2 runs both games, 1 or 2 runs in 6 innings. His ERA, you look at it, not great, like at 4.08. But he, coming back from the injury, he's looking pretty good. Cubs did get some runs against them. They took him out, like 1 out before the end of the 6th, so not quite a quality start for him. And then it took some work. We won in 10 innings, so at least we got that win on somewhat of a coin flip game. And kind of looking thing, we got Hamels against Max. We won one of those games. We scrapped out in extra innings after Max was dominating, but you got to feel that was on Washington's side. That would be a tough game to win. And then, the other 2 games you felt pretty good, but Lester against a pitcher making his first start in a while. And then today was Montgomery, who struggled a couple times against a pitcher with a 5 or like a 6 ERA. So Mother Nature kind of changed things. We ended up losing 2 out of 3. It's unfortunate. You would have thought we could have won 3 out of 4. Who knows? Maybe it would have been a split 2-2, but instead we lose 2 out of 3. But we are going to make up that game on Thursday. I don't like it, but we're running out of options. The other option is to play that game on October 1st. If Cubs were to fall to the wild card team, they would play on either October 2nd or 3rd. MLB hasn't decided if it's going to be the American League or National League game first. But that would potentially give us no days off after playing that extra game. And so that would not be ideal either. But playing Thursday again, we could potentially play against Max if they go with that 4 days off. I'm hearing they may not. They may go at Ross because they may say Max, give him an extra day off. Came off 111 pitches because he pitched 8 1/3 innings. And they may give him the day off and be ready to pitch against division rival Atlanta. They're not out of it yet. They may find the Atlanta series even more important. We'll see what they do. Otherwise, I think Montgomery would be. They ended up skipping Montgomery to prepare for Milwaukee, but they could pitch either Montgomery or they could go with Hamels again. They might go with Hamels again because then we play the Reds for a weekend series at home. I mean, you would think that would be an easier series, but who knows what can happen this time of year. We have to kind of create some of our own breaks now. Mother Nature didn't quite help us out, and we did kind of blow the game against the Nationals that last game. We had it all on paper up 4-0, ended up losing 6-5. They got the Hamels, got 3 runs against him, then they get to the bullpen against 2 of our better relief pitchers, to Cishek and then Wilson, who Wilson hasn't gave up a run since August 2nd, and he gives up a home run. So they got 3 runs against those 2 relievers, unfortunately, and we couldn't got 1 run against their bullpen, but it's unfortunate. Hit a grand slam and he still come out with a loss, but that's baseball. Sometimes the hitters win. Rendon, Harper, they're pretty great. Who knows? Maybe Harper will be with the Cubs next year. But we'll see what happens. Cubs have a 2-game lead. A lot is on the line. If Milwaukee were to sweep us, they have the lead by a game. Still not over. I'm not going to say this series. I think it would be more closer to over if Cubs were to get a sweep instead of them getting swept. We could have a 5-game lead, and I think we'd be down to like 17 games left to play. That would be a lot of games to catch up, and it's a fairly favorable schedule for the Cubs once they get through this Milwaukee series. I know we have the Reds, we have the White Sox. We do play the Cardinals at the end, but we'll see. I know we still have to play Arizona. They've been struggling, but still tough to play on the road. So we still have a number of games left, but this is a very important series that we're preparing for. I guess no time to complain about the National Series. Who knows? That game could get rained out next Thursday. Weather's just been horrible all weekend. There's talks of some hurricanes hitting in the East Coast. I don't know if that's going to be close to hitting Washington, but I mean, if there's high winds and everything, it's going to be a tough travel day. They're going to do a Thursday at 3 p.m. game is what's scheduled now to make up for this postponed game. And then Friday, we're supposed to play the Reds at 1:20 back at home. I'm hearing we may petition to see if we can move that game back, give us some more, because who knows, flights might get delayed. You know, players need to get sleep. But at least we're going back home for against Milwaukee. Didn't like the results last time, losing 2 out of 3. It'd be nice to win 2 out of 3, even a sweep if we can. You know, the bats are coming along. Pitching's been so-so, I guess, but you know, sometimes that's going to happen when you play good teams. But I like the pitching matchups this time, and kind of a blessing comes with the pro and a con. The pro is, you know, they should be able to get back home, get a good night's sleep, play a night game. Milwaukee, be pretty focused. The bullpen all has a day off. That should help. Becomes all hands on deck type of series. You know, the cons obviously is, you know, we're in a grind of now 30 days in a row, at least expecting to play a game. It's almost a game in itself when you're like there for 5 hours before they decide to cancel the game. It can be mentally draining for the players as well. But the bullpen arm should be pretty good. We'll see. Tough competition. Milwaukee can hit, but so can we. And we'll see what happens. Looking forward to it. Hopefully no more of these rainouts. Now Cubs are in a situation, since they're going to use their off day to play a game, make-up game. They would only have the 20th off, and the regular season ends on the 30th. So if they had another rainout, you'd have to have a team that had a mutual day off on the 20th, or you could do a make-up game on October 1st if needed. And like I said, that's not ideal, especially if we were to fall to the wild card team. Hopefully we can hold on to the division lead, and win the division. That's ideal, where you get more rest, and the team that wins the wild card is at a disadvantage because they got to use their best pitcher to win the wild card team. So, wild card game. Well, hopefully some better weather. It's supposed to be pretty good weather in Chicago back home. Cubs play a lot better at home. Hopefully they get focused and take their aggressions out of Milwaukee, get this more separation in the division. Go Cubs, go!